here. Let's do this. We're gonna zoom in just a little bit and zoom in just a little bit. I think we'll be pretty good right there, you guys. Man, this Facebook one is not wanting to cooperate. There we go. Perfect. All right. Gorgeous. Everybody's looking fantastic. I just love yous all. I'm sorry for the Facebook crew. We gotta try to. There we go. There. Not so bad. Perfect. Okay. I'm Paint with Josh. Welcome to the Paint with Josh experience. Let me tell you what I've done to my canvas so far. I have a 16 by 20-inch canvas, and I've covered it with our blue around the top and then green around the bottom with a little bit of blue stripe right in here. Now, the reason that we're doing that is so we can have our undercolors there and ready to shine when we hit it with our white paint. If we don't have any color down there and we try to just put white paint on a black canvas, boy, we're not gonna like our result. Why don't we pop in just a little soft thing right out there, right in the top. You gotta make the noises, otherwise it doesn't work. And you gotta check in and tell me where you're watching from and what time is it where you are right now. See, we're kind of spreading out that white and it's making a little light area out in our sky. Isn't it fantastic? It's kind of the light that's emitting from a little moon out there. So it's Monday Night Madness. How are you feeling? Have you had a good week? Or a good weekend? How's your Monday started off for you? Right, my week is just ending tonight. We'll be finishing the week. And then I can have a couple days off where I don't have to paint anything, right? They're not really days off. I end up doing a lot more work on those days than I do on these days, right? So we'll get in here with our titanium white, just on a little old fan brush. And we're gonna start real low down here, and then get a little higher and bigger and bigger and bigger, right? Just like that. Fabulous. I love it, you guys. It's so much fun. And we can literally do whatever we want to do. Every time that we go to do something, we can do it differently. We can try something new, right? We'll take all that color and just start making little circles, counterclockwise, clockwise, whatever you want to do. However you see it in your own head, looking, right? We'll come out here, maybe we'll pull this one clockwise so we get a couple little drags down and down and down. Isn't that neat? That soft little bit of our light coming from our moon, hitting our little flat cloud. Doesn't have to look like anything, doesn't have to do anything. We just want a little bit of that color to drag downwards is all. It's quite literally it. Now we'll take our same fan brush, just wipe it off on a paper towel. You can see it's sort of making my white pile blue, and that's okay. That is okay. We're gonna come out here like this, almost right from the center of our clouds and just drop down, right? How far is that paint going? Right? Depends on you. How straight can you pull that thing down to? Because that's what it's about. You don't want it to be bumpy. Right? Come down like that, kind of falling out of the clouds. And then down here, bang, we're gonna toss in just a little touch of our mistiness. Gotta have some misty, foamy action bits back there, very lightly, kind of pulling off to the edge. It's very soft, very soft. Come out of a little canyon back there. Now you can see that our color down here is slightly different. It's kind of changing. We've gone from that blue down into our green section, which just looks so cool. Just if you're asking me, that looks really cool. Okay, now we're gonna come back here and I'm gonna grab my Paint with Josh 1-inch brush and we're gonna launch over some grassy stuff, right? We're gonna get a little of our cad yellow and a little of our sap green. We're gonna mix it together. Mix it together, mix it together. Pulling it down, kind of loading our brush like we would a fan brush. Right? Pulling it down, 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 and then kind of skirting it back upwards so it's very sharp. Okay, what if, just way out here, we started tapping in a couple things. Little bits, right? Doesn't have to do anything much. We don't want to go too far up into our clouds, but just like that. Pop, 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 pop. Getting over to the edge. Over to the edge and back again by Josh Bo Baggins. Yes. Just like that, right? What if we get that same thing, kind of rolling down, making our brush like a little fan brush, getting it sharp, pushing it back up into our brissies, and then off of this side, we start going back the other way. Doesn't all have to go everywhere. Doesn't all have to be the same amount of brightness. Right? All of a sudden, we got a little grassy hill way up on the top of our canvas, okay? Same thing, both colors right here on the brush. That way we'll have differences. We don't need to mix it with a palette knife. Otherwise, it'll all be the same color. Right? Here we'll have differences. So let's come down here and just roll, turn our brush. Turn it to where it's vertical, right? So it's out here, it's coming over, and then we turn. Drop off a couple little dewars in the night. The more that you dip down, the more little things you're gonna have out there, right? The brighter it's gonna get. So we get to decide how bright it starts looking, how much gets to grow downwards, because we don't need it all to be so bright. Come out here, rolling down, rolling down, rolling down, and then turning, dipping down into the night. Little things, little things, little things, right? And again, over to the edge, turn the brush, go down. And it's just little taps, little taps, little taps. And all of a sudden we got a little grassy wall back there, a little canyon edge, looking fantastic, you guys. I just love it. Like seriously, people go, oh, like I hate that guy and his, you know, his reactions are so fake. I'm like, they're not. They're really not. They're my actual reaction to it coming out, because we never know what it's going to look like, right? We never know how it's going to fall off the brush until it happens. And then you see it, right? Let's come down this way. Down again, turn, vertical. Down, turn, vertical. Down, turn. See how we're coming lower and lower and lower each time? Starting down there, dipping down. You don't want a lot of paint out here, right? It's far, it's in the distance. It's indistinct bits of foresty, watery grass, whatever, right? We don't need a whole lot, is my point. So the more that you get out here to the edge, it's more like the less we need to do, because we want it to get darker back here, right? The more paint that we have back here and the brighter it is, the more it's going to stand out like the moonlight is just kissing it, right? So, over to the edge, down, over to the side, down. See how we're changing the angles up a little bit? They're not all the same. They're drooping down into the night, you guys, I'm telling you. Just make your edge noticeable, right? Okay, my edge is right there, and then we start going downward. Same thing over here. Maybe we need a little bit of paint. There it is, right there. And we can decide where we want our edges to be. Once we can have our grass in here, boom, 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 just like that. Fabulous. You guys, you see how it's changing? You can tell it's going out, and then it looks more like a hand like this, right? Dangling over as it's coming outwards, changing the look of our whole backdrop. That's really, really cool. Okay, down in here again, little sap green, little cad yellow. Onto our brush. Make sure you got enough paint on the brush. If you don't have enough, it's going to make you want to push harder, and that may ruin your shape, right? It's all about shapes and stuff out here. Actually, you know what? Before we do that, let's go back to our little fan brush. We're going to wipe it off. There's still some blue paint on there. It's totally fine. Right? Down in here, over there, in here, over there. Trying to wipe off the excess. All right, and let's say maybe a little touch of it came from there. And all we're going to do is get a little bit bigger as we go. Then we're going to hit this side and start getting a little bit bigger this way. And then hit that side and start getting a little bit bigger this way. Right? All in how you do it is how it's going to look. And then it's about the brightness. Right? If there's an area of bright against a very big area of dark, it's going to look like a shadow. If it's not so crazy and different, then it's going to look very cool. Look at that. Right? We get to decide, guys, what it looks like every time we go to do one. Let's use a clean brush. Let's get a clean, dry brush back here. So we can swipe over this white and have it intermix with the colors underneath it, and only the colors underneath it. We don't want to try to add anything to this mix, right? Just like that. Off into the day, wherever. We get to decide, right? Now that we know where our grass, or our water lives, we can get back in here, turn the brush vertical, and start tapping back. Little things, right? Right underneath. Sometimes you got to turn your brush over, like flip it over, so you got that paint under there too. Right? Tapping in, the more that we tap backwards, very vertical with our brush, right? Leaving little spaces in between, our grass will look a little different than those vines hanging down off the bottom, right? It's all about how you hold the thing, really. That's really it. How are you holding the brush? How are the bristles making contact? Because depending on our guy, right? If we held the brush like this and we turned it up ways, you know, our grass kind of looks like it's growing up here in the front. That's just from the paint that has climbed up the bristles, right? So if we keep doing that and we're pushing hard enough and not trying to overdo it, our grass should look a little bit more spiky, right? It's all in how you guys do it. How do you want it to look every time? Because your same brush that you're holding right now in your hand can make so many different little shapes that it's unreal, right? Just by turning it over or flipping it around or coming at it from vertical versus straight on. You get so many little things to happen out there in the night. Look at this guy. Oh, he's gorgeous, right? Back here, if it's a bit too bright, just tap at it again. No extra added paint, no different color, just keep tapping at it until it darkens itself down. Right, look at that, you guys. Isn't that cool? Isn't that just so neat back there? So neat. I like it. Now, over here, same thing, get a little bit of our green, a little bit of our yellow, let them mix on the brush so we'll have differences. Flip our brush over each time, right there, okay? Come back off of this side, little taps. Right underneath, little taps each time, right? We're getting lower and lower and further back and further away from our edge, right? Now, all in how you tap it is how it's going to look, right? You want it to come all the way down to your water's side right there. You can do it, right? It's all up to you. And then the more that you go over it, the more it will soften it and take it away. Get rid of those details that are back there, right? All these little things, these little brush marks and stuff. Go over them. We're not necessarily wanting to see every little blade of grass out there. Right? Little things. Little bits. It's going to fall off of our brush and get darker and darker and darker automatically as we get further away from where we start. Right? So it's all about where you're starting with your scene. Right? Where are you placing stuff? Because it's very important. It's very important. See, bang, just like that. Woo, that's fantastic. Okay, now we need to mix up a little bit of our darkness. So we're going to take our palette scrapey tool right here. A little bit of our black, a little bit of our crimson, a little bit of our blue. Now this is a mix of Prussian blue and phthalo blue because I was using both colors earlier in my class. By the way, thank you if you're watching, Linda Davis, for coming and taking a class today because she drove more than 5 hours to come take the class today. It was amazing. We had a really good time and we painted a cool little UFO scene that was really fun. It turned out being real fun. Okay. Now, let's take a little brush. Let's get our Paint My Josh fan brush so we can keep our stuff nice and thin and little out there, right? We'll wiggle it down. The Paint My Josh brushes are much softer, much more for fine details and little things where you can keep it a lot more under control, okay? Now, back here, let's just say maybe, who knows, that would be a cool spot for a little bush right there. So maybe let's come over here and let's start throwing in some sticks, just like that. Little sticks in the night. In fact, let's make them go all the way. There we go. From top to bottom. Some of them may be a bit thicker. Some may be a bit thinner. They're all, however, just like that. Oh, you guys, that's looking really cool. Really cool. Let's not go too, we'll do one more. One more little skinny guy. He's back here, and he doesn't come down as far. There. See that? See that? They're not all at the same place. They're going to look a little different each time. Now, let's do our big guy in the front. I want to ask you guys everybody watching right now, doesn't matter if you're watching during the live show or later on if you're watching, do you think this is enough paint to do our bigger version of this tree up here in the front? Just type in the comments yes or no, and I'm going to get started with at least some of it. I'm going to wiggle this guy down. Now, it may look very bright to you just based off of how our bristles are pulling on the paint, right? It should look very dark. Right? You don't have to pull it to the side. in order to make it look dark in real life. It's just the way that the lights are hitting it, right? So do you think we have enough? We got no, we got yes. We got all sorts of stuff, guys. That's a biggie. See how it's much closer just based off of its width, right? They're all going from top to bottom, basically. So just based off of the width and the darkness of this guy tells us that he is closer than all those other trees just because he's so dang big. And let's not go too far down. Just like that. And you can see by pulling down with our brush, it makes it much brighter to the camera for whatever reason. It doesn't look like that in real life. So you don't have to drag it to the side. Let's take this guy over here and really like project some crazy bits of just gnarly old roots that are going to come off of this guy. So we'll just bounce it up just like that, and then cover in the bottom. Cover it in, cover it in, cover it in, just like that. Bang. Right, now we'll have lots of dark area that we can go back with. Now, let me show you what our tree, again, is supposed to look like. Very dark, and all the way down here even. Should make it a lot darker for you guys, right? There we go. You can see around the edge where it's not so, because I didn't grip it right along the side, but that is our big old monster tree, right? It should be about that big. All the way. Which is basically about a brush and a half if you're using the Paint with Josh brushes. If you're using something else, just make it big. Big old guy, right? Yes. Now, just the width of him is what makes him closer than all of our other little guys, right? Give a little bit more width right in there, and then come back just so you guys can see it. There. Cut in front of all that stuff in the background, too. The width makes him closer, okay? So now this guy can have more detail and more stuff than these other guys can in the background. Let's take a little old fan brush, and before we do that, do we have enough darkness right here? Maybe we can scoop it up with our Paint with Josh round brush, and we'll just pop in a little bushy area right at the base. A couple of these little guys out here, just like that. They might not all show, but at least we'll have a little detail down there at the bottom that we can then play with, right? If you want to clean up the edges, you come around with our little grassy brush, kind of working it in, get that brighter color on there. There we go. And you can kind of feed back from the edges or from wherever how you want your little guys to look. Right, there we go, like that. Like that. Back in here, put more of my yellow. A little bit more yellow is going to brighten it up just enough. There we go. There we go, guys. So a couple little bits hanging out down to the bottom of our trees. Very cool. Now, let's take our liner brush. Let's go into our odorless mineral spirits, which is the brush cleaner. Right? That's basically what it is our brush cleaner. And we need to have a little bit. Let's see if I can wipe. There's not a lot there, but we don't need a whole lot. We just need it to be very thin. Right? So if we get that odorless mineral spirits, and we come over here into this very thin pile, it's going to make it very watery, and it's going to want to run down. That's what we want. Come out here, start launching in a couple little branches into our areas that already have some color in them. Right? Otherwise, we're not going to see these little branches. If you put it into a black area, you won't see much. You won't see much. They don't all have to go down. They can go up. They can be long. They can be short. They can be whatever you want them to be. They're just out there in the background. You're not even really going to pay much attention to them out there. Just over here, over there. Like I said, the further you get down, the less you're going to see those branches because it's dark down there. All right, so you guys check in. Tell me where you're watching from. Just what time is it where you are right now? Right, let me know in the comments below. Very cool. I like this one. It's coming out fantastically. Just fantastically, you guys. Here, there, and everywhere. Thanks, Cosmic, for being over on YouTube. I can't really see the YouTube comments from the way that we have our stuff positioned today. It's a little tight, and it's based off of the glare, basically. There's too much glare coming in from the window over here. But if I shut the windows or block out the sun, then I have to pay to illuminate the building, and I just can't make myself do it. There we go. A couple little bits, right? Nothing really crazy. Again, they're further away. We just need a bit of light on top of a bit of dark, and it'll trick your brain into thinking it's a little old bush out there. Now, let's get a little more of our odorless mineral spirits. Maybe, if we can, just a little more of our plaque mix, just a small amount, so we can make some big old branches on our big tree, right? We don't need too much, just a little bit. Get in there. We do need a lot of odorless mineral spirits, though. So dip it into your jar, and then maybe come out here, down in front of our moonlight, everywhere that we want to go, pop right in there. We got one going off of this side. Anywhere that you do it, you're gonna have to go back and highlight. So be careful based on the amount that you want to do. Bang, just like that. Pop it in these branches, quite literally. You don't need to do much else. Out there into the mist. Right, come off of these guys with little bits, little doers, wherever you can, wherever you think you've got enough space to drop out. Maybe bang right out there and tried to flick the moon, it did. Oh, it tried to hit the moonlight. Remember, not too many things on these back ones. You don't need to have too many little branchies on those guys. These guys are what we're worried about out here in the night. There we go. Bink, down like that. Boop. They don't, again, don't all have to go in the same direction. You want them to be different, right? Oh, that's looking cool, guys. Just got the notification. Well, that's not bad. We only started 22 minutes ago. This is a nice, quick little guy. Okay, let's come in here with our kind of smaller paint with Josh fan brush. We're going to go into the green and the yellow with our liquid white, right, which is going to make those kind of thick paints much thinner. Okay, then we're going to start climbing up the edge, very light hand, barely even touching it. Barely touch it. Bang, 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 bang. Little thing out there in the night. The more that you cover it up, the more you're going to dislike it. So don't cover it too much. We'll work on our other guy over here. Little taps, little taps, little taps. Again, they're further away. We don't need to see every detail on those guys over there, right? Just a couple little things hanging out in the night. Go back in a little bit more liquid white just so our paint stays nice and wet. If it's not going to come off of your brush and then contact your tree. It's just not going to happen. Little things. Start right there. Come down here. Little bits. Again, these are further away. If they're a bit thicker, maybe you need one or two little lines of it. If they're a bit thinner, maybe you only need one. All up to us, guys. Look at that. And they don't even all have to be the same. That's the best part about the whole thing. Now, we're going to get a little bit more of it. Again, it's the same stuff over and over and over again, right? We'll get the same kind of procedures. Back and forth, back and forth. Now, off of some of these guys, let's start tapping out. Again, very small amounts. Where do your branches go? Where are they coming from, right? Very light pressure, so we're not dropping on too much paint. Again, it's just a highlight, right? By definition, that cannot mean everything. It's just a little highlight. Just a touch that's on top of some shadows, right? That's all we really need. Little bits. Boop, boop. Pop them out wherever you want. Bink, boop, beep, pop, boop. Little things, right? Not every branch likes to grow. It never gets to grow to its full potential. So don't worry about them all. Got one a little touch, just a little bit though. If you have to push too hard, then your mixture is off, right? Go back and change your mix. Make it a little bit more wet, get a little bit more of the liquid white. All right, let's come do our branches on this guy first, because I feel like we're running out of highlight paint in our little paint pile over here. And so get it very wet in our little pile. Come back here. Now our branches are also very wet. And you don't have to go all the way to the edge if you can't reach it, right? If you can and it's continuing to fall off, then by all means take it to the limit. If not, then try to go so far. Those things, right? Little bits, little pieces of light greenery that are being hit. Now we're gonna push harder on this guy. Almost bending our brush because we need it, because we get down here. Oh, look at these things. Break off. Do something different. Don't have it just be straight lines, right? Don't have them all connected. Start getting crazy when we get down to the root pile. And we're gonna have a lot of fun. Now, as we go down, our brush starts to darken, which is why we need to wipe it off, go back in, and then climb up again. Little taps, little bits. Fill in little spaces in between, but not everything, I swear. If you tap in every place and it's all green, it's not me that's not gonna like it. It's gonna be you that doesn't like it, okay? You cannot have it all green. Remember, it's a highlight by definition. That cannot be our main color. The main color is dark. We cannot stray from that. Down here. Little bits of rootery. Oh, that's so cool. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness gracious. The sweater tree. Thank you for the gifts, guys. I love you over there. Appreciate it, appreciate it. Cosmic's back over on TikTok. She flops around like she'll come over here, then she'll be over there. Then she'll answer a question on Facebook. Then she'll be back over to TikTok. Then she'll be over there onto YouTube, answering stuff. And I really appreciate it, Cosmic. Thank you. I very much appreciate that. Little thing, a little bit darker on its backside, right? We're not touching so many bits. If we need it to get darker, or if it's too bright in a certain place, just tap at it again. Little things, guys. Honestly, little bits. Come back, get that little touch of our green, and we're almost done with this one. So, what do you guys think we should title it, man? What should we name this old painting in the night? Because we have to have a title. There we go. A little bit of our mossy bit. We got one popping out over here, one over there. Sometimes you can just do it just off of your brush and not even have a bit of shadow underneath it, but you gotta be careful because if they get too bright, then they're gonna look too funky, right? Absolutely gorgeous, appreciate it, thank you. Thank yous. Right, don't need to get all the way out. There we go, just like that. You want it to be darker on your backside. The only real bright areas are right here on the front, or off your branches on this side because the moon would be hitting it from the front area. We don't need it all to be supremely bright. Bang, just like that. Little things, guys, little bits in the night. You really want it to be bright on your one side. You really gotta brighten it up, right? Having it be bright across the entire thing, which is basically just more of your cad yellow in your mossy mix than anything else. But we just need that bright edge. Maybe we got it along this side in a couple spots. Maybe not all the way down, maybe up there. Right? It's just lighting up the front side. There's two front sides, right? Because the moon's hitting it from over here. So don't let it get too crazily bright. Otherwise you gotta make everything else crazily bright as well. A little bright area. Back there. Gorgeous. You guys, that is cool. So if you like this one, you know where to go to get it. I tell you every week how to go grab these paintings. So head over to my site and then come back and tell us what you want to name this painting. If you grab it, then you get to title it and tell us what it's going to be forever. All up to you guys. There we go. A couple little bits down into our Rudy system. I like him. Oh, I like him. I like it a lot. I'm going to tap on this guy just a bit more, just to soften him down. Right? Sometimes they get a bit too bright. We don't want these guys in the background being as bright as our guy in the foreground, that's for sure. Some little taps. Just make it a little more indistinct back there. Can't really tell what's going on. That's a cool little painting, you guys. That's a cute little painting right there. Secret Cedars, I like that. Forbidden Forest. Hey, Peggy, what's happening over there? Watching from Kentucky. Mossy Meadows, Misty Falls Grotto. Ewok Heaven, I love that. Right there on Endor. We're at a secret waterfall on Endor. Like that. That's a cool title. Okay, I'm gonna start cleaning up these brushes. You guys, you have to come up with a title. Remember, if you get it during the show, you get to pick the title. And if not, that's okay. We still need to get a title. So, come up with your suggestion, type it into the comments, and then we'll see what happens. I've got to wash and dry off a couple of these brushes just real quickly. And then we'll choose a title together. Choose a title. That's a good 30-minute painting for you right there. That whole sucker in a half hour? What? I've already painted 2 other paintings today. We did a class with Linda, and then we did a class with Dolly, and, well, we did a class with Dolly first, and then Linda next, but they came out really cool. One was a virtual class, one was an in-person class. And I was super happy with both of their jobs that they did. And then I'll post about them later on onto my Facebook. So if you're following me on Facebook, then you'll be able to see those photos from those classes. That guy, and then we only got 2 more brushes to clean up. 2 more little old brushes. Yep. That guy, 1 more now. Boom. Okay. I hope you guys try this one. It was really simple, really, when you think about it. Didn't have to do too much. And it came out looking really cool. The blue and green, they always play well together. And then when you add yellow into the mix, boy, oh boy, you're just gonna love it. Just gonna love it. Oh, my greeny, yellowy grass pile, just almost decimated. It's foul over here, you guys. The worst part about oil painting is the cleanup, that's for sure. That's for sure. This stuff likes to get everywhere. But it's also so much fun. That's why we do it. Okay. That. Lock the old lid down so the smell doesn't escape. And we'll be good to go. So what do we got for a chitle, guys? A little chitle in the night. Oh yeah, we gotta put the signature in, don't worry, don't worry. Fern Gully Falls, I like that. Mossy Meadows is cool. Mossy Falls. Anybody come at us over on YouTube? Let's see. No, Donna, tomorrow's my day off, in fact. Tomorrow and the next day I won't be on live. I like Fern Gully Falls. Cedar Rapids. What was that other one? It was like Cedar Falls or something. Or Cedar, something. Baggins Hideaway. That's cool too. Or something on Endor. Hobbiton. I like that. I want to be in this forest. Thank you. I appreciate you. Thanks, Kathy, over there on Facebook. Secret Cedars. That was it. I like that for a title. I like it. Let's name it that. Secret Cedars on Endor. That was a cool title. Okay, so. Yeah, this one really came out amazing. I really hope that you try it out. It's very simple, very quick. All right? And you guys can do it too. Okay, what number was this though, guys? Honestly. I did 69 last night, then 70, so it's 72, right? It's gotta be 1770 what? This is where I count on my moderators so much. Thank you, Cosmic. 1772, the year that America turned 2. Don't Google it. It's fine. I'm calling it secret cheaters. Oh man. Awesome title. Perfect for this one. Amazing. Painted on 3/31 of 2024. We're all going to go to paintwithjosh.com because it's the best place ever. Fantastic. Now, let's put the bird signature in there. Throw the initials onto the front. We'll have a finished painting, you guys. You guys. Can't believe we've done 3 paintings already today. So, if you like this one, or if you like some beachy scenes, I did 2 beach paintings today in my classes. They're listed over there. Number 1770 and 1771 are listed both over there. You can check them out. If you're into beachy scenes, they're really nice. Like, let's come in here like this and just go. Caw-caw. You gotta make the noises, otherwise it doesn't work. You gotta have fun with it, guys. If you're not having fun, then what are you doing, man? What you doing if we're not having a good time and having fun and smiling, right? That's painting. Literally, it's supposed to make you happy. And if you're struggling too much, or if you're focused too much on a certain thing being incorrect or wrong or whatever, forget about it. Skip it, man. It's got to be, you know, there's always going to be another canvas you can try on. There's always going to be something else you can do, and you don't need to focus. And as well, one more tip I can give you, when you're painting, every so often, just take a step backwards, right? Come back here and look at it from way back here, right? If we're up here too close, I know it doesn't make sense, but the closer you are, the more you can't see. We're just too much. We can't see it as a whole painting. So back up, take a look at it, and I betcha it's not as bad looking as you think it might be, right? So, you guys, you've been amazing. I love you so much. I honestly can't, oh man, I dried off the whole brush, washed it, dried it, put it away, did the whole spiel, and we forgot to sign the painting, of course. So, you guys, I can't wait to see your versions of this painting. Send it in to my site over on Facebook, which is Official Paint with Josh, right? So, if you get over there and you just search for Official Paint with Josh, it'll pull mine up. We've got 149,000 followers. You can know which one is the right one. My Facebook profile has the blue check mark, which is the verified check mark, so you know it's actually me. There are a lot of Facebook pages for Paint with Josh that are not me. So go to the Official Paint with Josh, all one word, Official Paint with Josh, okay? That's the one you're gonna wanna follow. That's the one you're gonna wanna check out. And then you'll be able to rewatch this video as a tutorial because we streamed it to YouTube as well. And over on Facebook, so you don't even have to go anywhere if you don't want to go with that little bit of green. You guys know me, I gotta finger paint at least some part of the painting. So, until I see you guys again next time, over on YouTube and Facebook, again, you've been amazing. I love you. Make sure you send them in because I love seeing them. I really do. That's not a joke. I really do love seeing what you guys can do. So, until I see you guys again next time, take care. Have the rest of a good day. And blah, blah, blah. Man, that one didn't take long at all, did it? That one was nice and simple, you guys.